But usually they go over by the fireplace after about 5 pages. I made it 10, and I thought, well, I could always rip out the first 10 pages. I don't know when it really happened. But it really wasn't. I mean, the script is, you've seen the story. You know what the story is, but and you could have no idea what the cast would be, how good they could do, how well they could do, and how good they'd be. But it was really meeting Ted and seeing what kind of guy he was and whether he had the stuff to see it through. Because it takes an enormous amount of energy to make even a real piece of crap. Let alone something that you might acknowledge that you'd worked in.
And Ted, the first meeting that you and Bill had, as I understand it, was at the airport. Why wasn't it in an office or a coffee shop like normal people?
From what I know of Bill, he likes to do a lot of his meetings traveling. So, he doesn't like to waste much time. So if it works out for him, for a place for us to meet, it's usually an airport. The first was LAX. And the second airport, when I screened the film for him, was Atlanta. Yeah, and so he likes airports.
Hartsfield International.
Known to be the busiest airport in the world, if I'm correct.
No, I'm from Chicago, and
Jaeden, you're so incredible in this film, especially the second time. It's such a joy to watch the ease that you and Bill have together. In your everyday life, do you have grown-ups as good friends? Or is Bill the first grown-up you've become good friends with?
I think I have a lot of grown-up friends.
Like who?
Well, I have Uncle Jason. Most of them are in Philly. It's where I'm from. So, but I think Bill was the craziest. Most different, but maybe the most fun.
Just ask him all the questions.
Jenno, this is such a kind of scrappy production that you all put together. Was there a moment, like often happens with these kind of films, where you felt it was this close to completely falling apart? And if so, how did you save it as a producer?
This one was unusual in the sense that the material really spoke for itself, and I think there's such a dearth of really great material, and we assembled this awesome cast, and once we had Bill and Jaeden, Jaeden was actually the hardest to find. How many kids did we see?
1,600 kids to get to Jaeden.
Wow.
also found Jaeden at an airport. Hamburg.
Since Melissa's not here, I just love Melissa's performance in this movie too. It's so different. It's so great. I do have a question for you, Bill, about Melissa. In the press tour that she's been doing, she's been talking a lot about how panicked, that's the word she was to meet you for the first time. When you hear a story like that, does that make you feel flattered, or does it make you feel guilty?
It makes me concerned. Really, I guess there's maybe an element of flattery about it, but I don't want anyone to be panicked. A little bit of fear is okay. But I don't want panic. No, we don't want that. And guilty. Hey, baby. This is how I roll. It's kind of a nice way of saying that. It's just because I've been around a while and I've been lucky. I've been very fortunate. So, people want to do their best, just because I've been around and I've done enough things. But she was, we like Melissa, right? And she played very, against what her popular type is, to play the straight part, and Naomi played the funny part, and they both were playing against what they usually play, and they both were incredibly game. All you can do is be thrilled that you've got someone that's willing to not be safe, not play safe, and to go for it. And they both went hard, and for Melissa to play not just the straight part, but like the mom part, the fractured marriage part, the next door neighbor to the ugly man part, all that stuff. That was a big challenge, and to do it and to really put her faith in Ted, and we don't really know Ted very well, you just had to take a chance, right? He's a first-time guy. He has no reputation except the stuff that you read on the walls in some of the restaurants in town. Both those girls, and I call them girls because they're to me they're only just getting going, even though they've had great careers. They haven't even. There's a lot more coming.
Well, I don't know about you all, but I think Melissa would also be good in a Ghostbusters part. But that's just me. Ted, you amassed, by my count, 4 Oscar nominees in your cast: Terrence Howard, Bill, Melissa, Naomi. What kind of made you more excited? The realization when you put the whole cast together, or when you were all excited to have a reunion with the cat?
Right down, but the cat died. No, I'm just saying that for the people here with allergies.
Was there more than one? Like off?
With a little flicker to call the cat. Yes, go ahead.
All right, but I'm sure you all have questions, so who has a question?
I remember all of his scenes. Ever seen 49? Well, you stunk that one up. I don't get to give this kid enough hard time. He's becoming like a big deal. We all hate him now.
All right, where's the mic over here?
Does these Q&A things. And because he's DGA, he doesn't know that you don't talk directly to the microphone like that. He thinks this show's gotta stop. Because they feel it's looking for him, it's for us. I'm sorry.
Jaeden, did you think you were going to get it, or were you shocked when you got it?
Oh, no, I didn't know I was going to get it. Well, the last audition, I met Ted. He was working a lot. And I didn't think I was going to get it. I came out and was like, I don't know. I'm shocked.
I'm glad you got it.
Well, I don't know if you can see me close up. But I did speak to doctors about what it was like to have stroke, and all experiences are different. There's no one sort of pattern that they follow, although there's a certain amount of consistency with rehabilitation, but even it's not consistent. It's just take a stab at it. And when I look at the film, I go, oh, it looks like he's a little better than he was. He looks like he's a little better, and then he gets worse. And that really does happen in strokes. I had a father-in-law that had a stroke, and all I really remember was a very intelligent man struggling very hard to get a word out that made sense, and the frustration of it. So I mean, I tried. I did as well as I could do. But, you know, we can never put ourselves truly in the feet of another that's suffered the loss of their mind.
Let's take a question from this side.
He's a god. Fred Roos is one of the great men of the film industry. Fred Roos can do no wrong.
When I was crying, Ted was pinching me.
Oh.
Memorized my lines and Bill's lines. Every day he would ask me, do you know my lines?
Yeah, it's true. That was, you know, I had to make sure he was here with us. I would just say, do you know my lines?
Sometimes.
Yeah. And as time went on, he learned my lines more and more. And it was very helpful to me. But let's not forget. How old are you, 10 or 11?
I'm 11 now.
Yeah, you're 11 now. Yeah, but you still cannot be tried as an adult. Let's just all congratulate this kid. This is the high point of his life. And if he never makes another movie again, although he did make another after this one, he's a good boy. Say, because the other guys aren't here, I'd like to say that Chris Dowd took an interesting, challenging part and played it perfectly. And Terrence Howard, who's always a bad guy, and I don't really think he is a bad guy, although people think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy. I really enjoyed him, and I thought he really brought very much of himself, very, very much of himself every day to work. I was really happy that he was there. I always felt like I got more than I needed. You know, when you work with someone, you wonder, are they going to give you what you need to work with them? And he gave me more than I needed. He was really good to work with. Both those guys were great. And Naomi is a foreigner.
Off the eating chat.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know that there would be a cash bar here tonight. What was the question? About New York?